In my last video, which is called About Crying, I mentioned this book that I'm reading called Bury Me Standing by Isabel Fonesca, and in there it talks about how the Gypsies have been persecuted, and many governments, particularly England, Germany, and the former Soviet Union countries, have tried to restrict them and control them in lots of different ways that none have really worked. They've also killed them. Not many people know, I didn't know, for example, that many Gypsies were killed along with the Jews in Germany during Hitler's rule. But anyhow, as I read about the Gypsies, I find a lot of similarities with the way I like to live. And one of the things I just read this morning was that in, I believe it was Poland during the Soviet times, the Polish government wanted to turn the Gypsies into workers. They didn't like them just moving around. They wanted to get more use out of them. So they forced them to live in these state manufactured homes. And after a while, though, the Gypsies started moving outside of these homes and sleeping like in tents or huts or something right outside these houses. And the Gypsies said to us, these houses are like prisons. And first, I can understand that, because I would rather be outside most of the time than inside. And also, I've seen these government-built buildings that the communists will build. They're ugly, first of all. There's no privacy. They're not connected to nature. Gypsies love nature. They like to be outside. There was a story also in the book about this family that made a lot of money, this Gypsy family that made a lot of money dealing in something or other. I think it was fake designer clothing. And then they built a big mansion, but they still cooked outside over an open fire. Well, last night I cooked outside over an open fire, and the other day I put my tent inside the house. I was sleeping outside for a while, but then I can't remember exactly why, but for some reason I moved it inside, and I like it in there, so I sleep inside my tent inside the house. Maybe I'll show you a picture of that later, but I just kind of do what feels right and feels comfortable to me, and thankfully I don't have my family around or other people around saying you shouldn't do this or judging me, etc. But it's really frustrating, because I have no idea what my life would have been like if I would have been allowed to just follow my own, as Hermann Hesse said, my own inner promptings, my own, I don't know what to call it, my own spirit, my own needs. I guess it's really my own needs. But I definitely wasn't allowed to. I was forced to go to government schools. I live in a city, although I could at least get outside the city pretty quickly on my bicycle. But I feel so sorry for these kids that are trapped in these high-rise apartment buildings or blocks of flats as they have over here in Europe, or that live in suburbs where they're so far removed from nature. They go to the mall for some entertainment, some distraction. So anyhow, I'm getting more and more interested in the Gypsy culture. And this morning I rode the 930 Maxi Taxi, small minivan, or minibus as they say, Maxi Taxi. And it was mostly filled up with Gypsies, and there was some kind of an argument. Well, there were a couple arguments actually, but one was when a couple of kids tried to basically sneak on without paying. And I was sort of waiting to see what would happen, but they just resolved it by shouting for a while. And let's see what else. Oh, I don't know if I've said anything about hitchhiking, so I'll throw that in with this video, I guess. No, I'll make another one about hitchhiking. So that's the end of this one. Bye.